Hello. Testing. I think this is working. Yeah. Hello. Yes. Yes, it is. And now I'm screwing up my own settings, but that's okay. What's going? Wait, what? There we go. Too many controls. It works though. Hello, and welcome to my solo RPG journal. Today we are not playing Morrowind, despite the fact that that is the thumbnail. Sorry about that. I would have changed it, but I didn't have one ready, and I wanted to just go live and get going. So instead, we are going to start building a setting for a game. I had this idea. Well, someone else had an idea where at the beginning of the year, someone had this idea that people should go and draw one room of a dungeon every day. At the end of the day, at the end of the year, they would have a 365 room dungeon with this nice detailed, setting. It's a dungeon. The idea was a dungeon. And that's not quite my thing, so I sort of left it aside. But at some point, I had this idea of, hey, maybe instead of a dungeon, we could do a setting, and we wouldn't have this nice metric of one room a day, which, it's a really nice way of doing it. Or we're just going to draw one room. Instead, because we're writing a setting, we're going to try and do one thing a day. Maybe that one thing will be a character. We'll write something about a character, or it will be a room. Maybe there is an important location to write about, and maybe even draw up. We probably will be drawing maps, just not, I think, in this first stream. So then, when I was playing with ChatGPT and exploring it, one of the prompts that it suggested when I asked it, I did a video where we went and built a example setting to play a game in, and then I did a second video where we actually started playing a game in that setting. But we only really spent a couple of minutes, 30 or so minutes. It's probably a bit longer because I think I edited the video down to 30 or so minutes. But we spent like an hour working on this setting. So as we were doing that, though, I was using ChatGPT and I asked it for ideas for the setting, and I got this one idea that I really liked. A sprawling city. Imagine a city like Venice, but with magic. The canals are enchanted to clean themselves, the streetlights are powered by magical energy, and the criminal underworld is ruled by powerful sorcerers. You could play as a detective, a thief, a mage, or a member of the city guard, and your adventures could involve investigating crimes, stealing magical artifacts, or thwarting dark rituals. I really like this idea. Excuse me. The joys of doing it live. I really liked this idea as a starting point. So today, we're going to spend half an hour, however long, detailing, working this idea through. I've got ChatGPT open so we can use it. And hopefully come up with something a little bit more detailed on. And then tomorrow we'll probably start going, okay, let's detail, I don't know, a character or a room, a location, something like that. Depending on what we come up with today. So, to get started, I do intend on using ChatGPT to do this. But well, let's just sort of set ChatGPT up. Hi, I want some help building a setting for a RPG game. I'll say tabletop RPG game. Not necessarily Dungeons and Dragons, but this could be Dungeons and Dragons. It could be something else. I have some vague ideas and want to get your help with some other ideas and fleshing some things out. I have a starting prompt to set the vibe. And we'll copy this in here and see what it says. Or not see what it says. Great, that sounds like an exciting setting for a tabletop RPG. Here are some ideas to help you flesh out your setting. Geography and layout. Consider how the city is structured. Are there different districts or neighborhoods with their own unique characteristics and cultures? This is a very good. How are the canals arranged? Are there any notable landmarks or buildings? What role does the geography play in the city's politics and economy? Magic system. What kind of magic system? Yep. It's giving me a lot more than I wanted straight up, but that's fine. What I should do, I should say something here in chat just in case people join. Just in case people join the stream. This might not be the best time for people. But yeah, magic system, politics and society, threats and dangers. These are all very good questions to ask and answer. So the first thing is, I believe, geography to begin with. I think this is probably like in a delta, in a river delta. Let's do that. Let's set the oh no. Let's set the game, the city, in a river delta. The city is probably the city probably sits on the different islands, and each district would be an island. In the delta. So a river delta, and if for those who don't know, is the mouth of a river, often branching out with lots of islands and stuff through it and into the ocean, or into a larger body of water. Yeah, so if we set at the city in a river delta, we've got districts on islands, lots of travel on boats, and the like. Where would we would probably have different settings or different centers on each of your buildings. Is this too widespread though? If it's in a river delta? Because then you lose that large city closeness of having tight packed areas. Or maybe we've got a mix. Yeah, so the district started on islands in the delta, but a lot of the city is made up of reclaimed land and flotillas, sort of floating things that are fixed as part of the different districts, quite close in, but just away from them. That sounds like a cool idea. Yeah, I think we're getting... different islands in the delta as packed in as possible. A lot of each district is reclaimed land or buildings built to float on the water, so you can't see where the original islands were. Everything in each district is packed tight. But each district has some distance between it, connected both by large bridges and water transport. So that's cool. Now, how does this play with politics and economy is sort of the next question there. So I guess the question is, what is the political structure of the city? Now, the original thing, imagine a city like Venice, but with magic. The canals are enchanted to clean themselves. The streetlights are powered by magical energy. And the criminal underworld is ruled by powerful sorcerers. So perhaps it's more than just the criminal underworld being ruled by powerful sorcerers, as it says. Perhaps we've got a magocracy, if I'm remembering my terms. Perhaps the city... If the city's in the mouth of a delta, it's an obvious trade city, right? But if we've got let's go with like a trade city ruled by a merchant nobility, and they commonly employ mages and the like. So the city is a merchant city ruled by how do you spell stuff? Artifacts. A lot is apparently not a suggestion. Reclaimed distance. Merchant, that's how you spell merchant. A lot of each district is reclaimed land. Or built to float. The city is a merchant city ruled by a caste of a cabal. That sounds a bit too secretive. A council of long-standing merchant families. They have been around, and I think that they'd probably have different presences on each different island, and so the districts would then be. This is good because this then feeds into the geography. They have been around for from the beginning, when the city was established, and became a major trading center. Ruled by a council of long-standing merchant families, they have been around from the beginning, when the city was established and became a major trading center. Each have in their employ a large retinue of mages, as they are responsible. Mages and masons. I like that. As they are responsible for each of their own districts. Responsible for the maintenance of each of their own districts. They collect taxes inside their own districts. And that's probably all we need to know about that right now. But we get to go back to geography. Each district is controlled by a merchant family, with the two districts on either side of the river, controlled by the council or by representatives of the council. So each side of the river is more just about travel, because it's sort of the gateway in, unless you're coming by boat. And then the political structure. Yeah, and then each of the districts is sort of themed around the two districts on either side of the river are predominantly seen as gateways into the city, not bastions of trade and industry themselves. All other districts are themed around the business of the merchant lord who rules there. So we've got like a district for smithing, where all the smiths go and you have your armor smith and a weaponsmith and general goodsmith and all of that stuff there. And then you'd have other districts for clothes and that kind of stuff. And I don't know the names for that. The old names that off the top of my head for that kind of business. But that, yeah, and that way we've got the theming being dictated by an individual and their tastes. So we can have differently themed areas and some variety by districts in this city. So this is cool. That then gives us the ability to go, okay, we'll fill out this one district one day, we'll fill out another district another day, and go on from there. Magic. Do we want to look at magic right now? Let's leave magic aside for the moment. I think I might have answered some of this. How do they maintain their power? That's an interesting question. Threats and dangers. What kind of threats and dangers exist in the city? Criminal factions. So we've already got this idea of some kind of underworld. So let's feed this in to ChatGPT and just see what it says. Yep, this is what I get for my terrible spelling. Predominantly council, bastions, and that's merchant is. Let's take the I out and oh look, it's spelt almost correctly. Let's just say this and see how it responds. Yeah, that's a good point. The council have yes. Oh, cool. So I've given it a structure. I've gone, here's some stuff about geography in a 2 paragraphs in a section marked by 2 beginning asterisks. I then started a political structure one. And so it's just continued what I've given it, which is really cool because it's gone. However, the council has the final say on matters of citywide importance, such as trade regulations and external relations with other cities or nations. The council also employs a powerful magical enforcement agency to maintain order within the city as they are known. Okay, so this we might take out, but we'll keep this. There are also other political factions and organizations within the city, such as the criminal underworld and various guilds representing different professions. These groups may have their own agendas and conflicts with the council or with each other. Yes, that is good. We also get like a wealthy merchant lord that is in charge of this kind of business and in charge of this district. But you then have the Smiths Guild, who might have a slightly different agenda, and they're butting heads. So that could be interesting. Magic system. It's then given me magic is common and an integral part of the life in the city. There are various schools of magic, each with their own specialities. Yeah. Threats and dangers. And so it's actually answered these questions that it's put before me. The city is a dangerous place with rival merchant families. So let's just copy all of this because I want to use this. And we're going to delete some of this stuff. So I don't. Where was it? Okay. I don't like the mage police. Let's take that out. There are also other political factions and organizations within the city, such as a criminal underworld. Yep. Magic is a common and integral part of life in the city. There are various schools of magic, each with their own specialities and areas of study. Some mages work for the merchant families as enforcers or advisors, while others may work independently as healers, diviners, or alchemists. Magic is also used to power many of the city's infrastructure and utilities, such as the self-cleaning canals and... Yeah, so this would work. This is sort of a high magic setting and work in a lot of RPG systems. You want to use it in Dungeons and Dragons, you can. You want to use it in Pathfinder, you can. Threats and dangers. The city is a dangerous place with rival merchant families vying for power and influence. The criminal organizations lurking in the shadows. There may also be dangerous magical creatures living in the canals or in the outskirts of the city, and rogue mages who use their power for personal gain or to cause chaos. So I feel like this is something we need to expand on. And maybe this is a stream each. Quests and adventures. It's lost the... formatting there. Okay. So that's kind of cool. So I guess at this point, how long have we been going for? Half an hour? Because we've got... I feel like we've kind of reached our goal for a first stream here. We've got this idea of how the city is set out. We've got a political structure for the city. Now, we have some vague ideas for a magic system, threats and dangers, stuff here. I feel like this we can sort of ignore for the moment. I want to set up like criminal organizations. So I guess if we what things are there that we want to build into this? So districts. We need a list of districts. We need a criminal description of criminal activity in the city. What else is there? Description of criminal activity in the city. We need to actually go through and list out all of those districts. Let's actually just get that list of districts right now. With all of this in mind, what are some ideas for districts in the city? Okay, apparently it wants to give me new lines in the thing as opposed to send. Sure. Here are some ideas for districts in the city. The spice market. The district is known for its exotic spices and herbs, which are imported from all over the world. Yeah, that's a good one. The Clockwork Quarter. The district is home to some of the city's most talented majors and engineers who use their skills to create intricate clockwork machines and automata. The streets are lined with workshops and factories, and the air is filled with the sound of gears turning and steam. Okay, so it's a little bit too steampunk, but I like the idea. Red light district, yep, that would be there. The Alchemist Quarter. The district is home to the city's alchemists and potion makers. Yep. The Grand Bazaar. This district is a bustling hub of trade and commerce. Yep, I think that we would also have districts. So I think that we've got I like some of these. I like the spice market. And I think that there's going to be no, I think that everyone would have their own warehouses as needed in their districts as opposed to a warehouse district, wouldn't there? Wouldn't they? I like the Clockwork District. The Clockwork Quarter. Is there so the red light district? Given that each district is an island that is being maintained by a lord, is there a lord of gambling? Gambling is big, but would it be a district of in itself? I mean, some places practically are. I believe that all of Asia comes to gamble in, is it Sydney or is it Melbourne? I can't remember. There's a city in Australia where all of Asia comes to gamble because it's not legal for them to gamble there. So they come down to the Australian casinos. And I think that there's a few Asian cities, I think Hong Kong and Singapore, it's illegal for their own citizens to gamble, but gambling is a big thing for foreigners. So they are cities that have a big gambling industry. Would those industries... Yeah, that could be a... I think that there is going to be a... I don't think it's going to be the red light district, but we'll call it something else later. We'll work on those details later. I think we'll probably go down more with the gambling. I feel like taverns and stuff would be found elsewhere. I don't think that... I think that everyone would be able to live in their respective districts without having to leave, or leave all the time. So I think that you would still have taverns, and there's probably, if we want to go into adult entertainment, there's probably stat there. Whether or not we want to actually detail that, is another question. We'll call it the gambling district for the moment because I think that gambling is going to be the big focus. Gambling and tourism. Because I feel like this would be a big draw for people. And here we're actually making some assumptions about the world. In this world, for this to be a big tourism thing, we need to have easy travel as well. So that actually increases either the technology level of the setting by quite a bit. We're definitely not looking at like an old medieval fantasy world at this point in time. So yeah, this is going to be that's going to be interesting. So the Alchemist Quarter, it would totally be a thing. The Grand Bazaar, there would be a Grand Bazaar. I think that we might also have the university. We've got a magic city with a lot of magic going on. They've got to be training them somehow. We're going to have clothiers, and we're going to have smiths. And I guess, are there? Is there like a big print district, or does that sort of fall into the university work? I feel like there's a I in clothier. Smiths. Yeah, I think that works pretty well. So, the spice market. This district is known for its exotic spices and herbs, which are imported from all over the world. The air is thick with the scent of cinnamon, cardamom, and saffron, and there are stalls selling everything from teas and tinctures to rare magical ingredients. The merchant family who controls this district, excuse me, is rumored to have a secret garden where they cultivate their own rare herbs and spices. Do we have like a parliament district? I ask, yeah. So where does this council meet? So the council is made up of the merchant lords. They need a place to meet and run government. The town center. So this has to be its own place. As well. Okay. So the Clockwork Quarter. Let's take this. The district is home to some of the city's most talented mages and engineers. Talented engineers who use their skills to create intricate clockwork machines and automata. I don't think that this necessarily has to be related to magic, which is why I've taken mages out. Though there would still be some crossover, I don't think it should be taken as a given. The streets are lined with workshops and factories, and the air is filled with the sound of gears turning and steam hissing. The merchant family who rules this district is highly protective of their intellectual property, and will go to great lengths to prevent others from stealing their designs. Cool. Gambling and tourism. So, what have they said about the red light district? This district is a haven for the city's pleasure seekers, with its brothels, taverns, and gambling dens. It's also a hotbed of criminal activity, with various gangs and organized crime syndicates vying for control. The merchant family who controls this district is rumored to have ties to the criminal underworld, and they may be willing to offer the player lucrative jobs if they're willing to get their hands dirty. So let's take some of this out. We're just going to take out the adult entertainment. If you want that to be part of your game, you are welcome to it, but I don't know that we need to detail it. If we do, it's going to modify the tone of the game. Maybe there'd be a way of putting it. If you're writing a source book, maybe there'd be a way of like, here's optional chapters for that kind of stuff. But that's not something we'll look at the beginning. And because if you're thinking about it from the other main thing that I've got here is that there is a lord that is presenting what he wants to present as a respectable business. And well, actually, actually, I think that maybe in some cultures there that I just don't know enough about those cultures to go down that road. Anyway, this district has a haven for the city's pleasure seekers, taverns, and gambling dens. I think that the Lord of this city, the Lord of this district, positions himself to be positions the district to play host to all manner of foreign nationals and sells it as a tourist resort. Yes. Let's just call it the resort. And sells it as a tourist resort. With many attractions for visitors to the city to spend their money on. It's also a hotbed for criminal activity with various gangs and organized crime syndicates vying for control. I think we can take this out. Yeah, we're just going to take that whole paragraph out because I think that they're all a little bit suspicious. All of the different lords are probably a little bit suspicious and up to their own things. The Alchemist's Quarter. This district is home to the city's alchemists and potion makers who use their magical knowledge to create all sorts of elixirs, tonics, and remedies. The streets are lined with shops selling everything from healing potions to love potions, and there are often strange smells wafting through the air. The merchant family who rules this district is highly protective of their secrets, and they may be wary of outsiders who try to learn too much. So this might need a little bit of revision. The streets are lined with shops selling everything from healing potions to love potions. This asks a question of our city's morality. So that's something to... Do I just bold it for now and we look at it later maybe? How does this work and how are they seen by the populace? I'm sure that they exist, but can I just walk into any alchemist and they'll give me one? How does that go? There are often strange smells wafting through the air. Yeah, this is a bit similar to one of the other ones it's already prompted us for. So the Grand Bazaar. This district is a bustling hub of trade and commerce. Merchants from all over the world coming to buy and sell their goods. The streets are crowded with vendors hawking everything from silks and spices and magical trinkets and rare artifacts. So is the spice market different? Yeah, I think that the Grand Bazaar is going to be like the spice market. You probably are buying things in bulk as opposed to stuff I can take home with me. Buying spice in barrels and things like that as opposed to for trade as opposed to other things. So the Grand Bazaar is probably more trinkets and everything else. It's a big place for everyone else to go shopping. I have a feeling that the other question is transport as well. Who manages transport? I have a feeling that the lord of the resort would be very interested in transport. Can you give me ideas for a few more districts? A city center where the lords meet to hold the council and run government. A university. Which teaches people book smarts and magic. The Lord here also is invested in the print industry. A district for clothiers, weavers, and dyers. And a district for smiths and engineers. Engineers and builders. Now, how do you spell dyer? As in dye. Let's just hope it works it out. Absolutely. Here are some additional district ideas. The Citadel. This district is heart of the city's government. It is where the city's councillors and lords meet to discuss important matters. The Citadel itself is an impressive structure, towering over the city and fortified with powerful magical wards. The merchant family who controls the district is highly influential and has close ties to the ruling council. Well, I think that the lords are the ruling council, so I feel like this wouldn't have a lord. This would be just council property. The Arcane Academy. The district is home to the most prestigious university where students can study everything from history and philosophy to advanced spellcasting and enchanting. The merchant family who controls this district is deeply invested in the world of academia and have a hand in many of the city's intellectual and cultural pursuits. The Silk Road. Yeah, that's not what we're calling that. Okay, but this is the district this district is the center of the city's textile industry, with weavers, dyers, and clothiers working together to create some of the finest fabrics and garments in the world. The streets are lined with shops selling everything from colorful silks and embroidered tapestries to sturdy work clothes and heavy blankets. The merchant family who rules this district is known for their impeccable taste and their connections to the city's high society. And the foundry. This district is a hub of industry and innovation with blacksmiths, engineers, and builders working together to create everything from intricate clockwork machines. Yeah, no, we've got... anyway, we've got some stuff and... Well, my web browser has crashed, so I think that makes it a good time to call it. If I can't actually copy any of this text across, so that's going to be annoying. But it gives us a clothiers. Do not call this the Silk Road. Yeah, but this gives us a good start into our setting, and we'll continue this hopefully tomorrow. And then the next day, and the next day, and the next day, until we've got an interesting setting. So thanks very much for joining me. I see we've had a few people join over the hour. I hope you who watch the video later enjoy it, and we'll see how we go with this. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next stream, I guess. Have a good one.